Hello guys. Where does Arkansas fit into the latest projections for the SEC tournament? The projection has just been revealed. You can listen calmly, okay? Before you do, subscribe to the channel to receive more news about the Hogs. Arkansas enters the SEC competition carrying a weight that goes beyond the standings, that of a track record already tested at a high level and molded under pressure. Few teams in the country have exposed themselves as much outside the conference as the Razorbacks in this first half of the season. Facing 5 top 10 teams even before the SEC calendar begins is not just an aggressive scheduling choice, it's a statement of intent. And even with a 2-3 record in these matchups, John Calipari's team came away from these games with something that cold numbers don't fully capture: competitive credibility. The victories over Texas Tech and Louisville served as points of affirmation, but perhaps more relevant were the defeats. Michigan State, Duke, and Houston all beat Arkansas, but none of them emerged unscathed. In 3 games decided by narrow margins, the Razorbacks showed that they belong to this elite group, even though the consolidation process is still underway. It wasn't an overwhelmed or lost team on the court. It was a team under construction, competing to the end against programs that now appear more stable in national projections. This perception is directly reflected in Joe Lunardi's latest projections. Arkansas emerges as the number 6 seed, placed in a particularly tough eastern region, alongside Duke as the 2nd seed and Michigan State as the 3rd. It's a region that offers no respite, composed of traditional programs and deep rosters, and that demands maturity from the first possession. For the Razorbacks, the initial challenge would be facing the winner of the first 4 duel between Miami and Ohio State, 2 teams that also carry respectable resumes and distinct styles, capable of punishing any inattention. Miami arrives with a solid campaign, significant victories outside the conference, and a rookie coach who quickly imprinted an identity on the team. Ohio State, in turn, has built a competitive history even in close defeats, showing resilience and decisiveness in the final stages of games. There is no easy matchup in this scenario, which reinforces the idea that Arkansas's position in the projection is not comfortable, but neither is it unfair. It's a portrait of a team that has already been tested, but still needs to transform competitiveness into consistency. Within this context, the start of the SEC takes on even more decisive contours. The duel against Tennessee, opening the conference campaign, serves as a kind of immediate mirror of the stage Arkansas is at. Calipari doesn't shy away from this assessment, but he also doesn't cling to it. His discourse, far from offering guarantees, points to something more structural: confidence in the process and the profile of the roster he has at his disposal. The comparison with last season arises naturally. The coach himself acknowledges that the previous team was emotionally fragile, with difficulties in team cohesion that extended for a good part of the schedule. Still, that team found the strength to react at the right moment and reach the Sweet 16. Proof that, even in unstable contexts, Calipari's leadership can extract answers when the margin for error disappears. Now, according to him, the scenario is different. There are players willing to be challenged, to absorb adjustments, and to maintain a higher physical and mental level throughout the season. This point is perhaps the most encouraging for Arkansas fans. More than specific schemes or rotations, what Calipari describes is a coachable team, something that has always been the basis of his best work. His speech after the victory over James Madison doesn't sound like bravado, but an indication that the coach has once again recognized in his own roster characteristics that have historically placed him among the most competitive in the country. There are no promises of immediate victory against Tennessee, nor guarantees of dominance in the SEC. What exists is the conviction that, if Arkansas does what needs to be done on the court, the result will be a consequence, not an obsession. In a conference known for its physical brutality and consistent high-level opponents, This approach could be the key difference. Therefore, Arkansas's current projections shouldn't be seen as a ceiling, but as a starting point. A sixth seed in a strong region reflects respect, but also a challenge. It's now up to the Razorbacks to transform the lessons learned outside the conference into victories that solidify their position and, perhaps, alter the scenario as the SEC progresses. With John Calipari at the helm and a roster more receptive to the demands of high-level competition, Arkansas enters the toughest phase of the season. Share your opinion.